Are you Reverend Camden?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. So you must be Josephat. T-Bone. T-Bone Jr., I'd know you anywhere. I'm your dad.
Hello and welcome to For Heaven's Sake, a Seventh Heaven podcast. This is episode 1120 titled Nothing Says Lovin' Like Something from the Oven. And we are your co-hosts, Lady J.
And T.
How are you, T?
Ready to get into this, but how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I genuinely can't believe we are so close to the end.
I know.
In a way, first of all, I'm so ready for it to be over,
yes,
if I'm being honest about it. But at the same time, with this episode, it feels like this could have been the start of a new season.
Yeah.
Like, so much dominoes being set up that, like, how are you going to knock all these down in 2 more episodes?
I know.
It's really weird, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. I feel like these past few episodes have been really dense with information.
Yes, very dense.
Yeah, especially this one. Dude.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Every character has a story except Annie and Eric.
Yeah, they seem to have like taken a pause on the whole Eric's dying thing.
Yeah. Eric,
which,
and we don't know what's happening with their church, mind you. Like,
that's true too. Yeah,
all we know,
we haven't really seen the inner workings of that whole dynamic in a while.
The last thing that we saw was Lou leaving.
That's right.
Yeah,
and Eric reclaiming his strength power position at the church, but also maybe loosening the reins a little bit to give Lucy and Sandy a chance. It's hard to know.
I know. We
haven't really touched on it much, but there are little hints here and there over the course of the last few episodes that Sandy is continuing to fill in with the teen girl group at the church. Yeah. Which makes sense considering that Lucy's considering leaving, you know, and starting something new. So anyway, this episode is also unique and special because of the format of it, right? They've done something like this before where there's like a conceit to the timing of it, right?
Yeah.
With like title cards and everything. But in this episode, it's all related to meals of the day.
Yeah.
So we start with late night snacks, and it's T-Bone and Eric in the kitchen, and T-Bone can't sleep because he knows that Ruthie's out with Martin, and he's just like waiting for her to come home, and you know, because he's like slightly jealous and whatever, you know. And Eric's trying to be like, okay, well, you know, just go to sleep. Like,
choose your feelings. It's the shit that,
fucking classic Eric, you know?
Just choose your feelings. He's like, I don't work that way. I love it. T-Bone's like, no.
Yeah. But so then Eric shifts gear and is like, okay, well, if you're so determined to feel bad, you know, pick and choose the times when you're going to feel bad. Like, allow yourself X amount of hours in the day to feel bad. And then the rest of the time, move on with your life.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is not bad advice. It's just a little, like, I think unnecessary to put that on T-Bone right now. Like, the kid's going through something, you know, he's obviously heartbroken because the way that things ended with Ruthie were very not closure-ish. You know what I mean? Like, it was all very abrupt, and it's like it happened to him as opposed to by him.
Yeah.
You know? And so I'm sure he's feeling like, wait, this all just got out of control. Like, what happened? Next thing I know, we're broken up. What? Like, you know, so he's dealing with that in his way. And Eric telling him to like, get over it doesn't help, you know.
Fuck up.
But then T-Bone does make a comment. Actually, I think it's Eric that suggests to T-Bone, you know, maybe some distance would be good for you. You know, the garage apartment's empty.
Yeah.
Maybe that way you're like out of the house. She's not like constantly in front of you or whatever kind of a thing. But then T-Bone's like, no, I need to live with people. Like, I can't live alone. So that's when he gets the bright idea to maybe move in with Mac, Margaret, and Jane.
Yeah.
Of course, that's just him in the middle of the night coming up with that harebrained scheme. Whether or not they would want him to move in with them is a different story, but one that we'll explore throughout the rest of this episode. But they don't really have much time to talk too much further about it because fucking T-Bone's dad shows up on their doorstep in the middle of the fucking night.
Yeah.
On his motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. And then you hear, what's his name? Poor T-Bone. He's like, well, maybe it's Martin with a bike. He's like, I don't think Martin would have a bike.
Eric's like, he better not be riding my daughter on the back of his bike.
Yeah.
So he comes in and it's, we heard his introduction, but T-Bone is immediately not having it.
Yeah. He's like, this is bullshit.
He's like, you're not my dad. Who the fuck are you? Like, what do you, what? Like, no. And, he shows him a picture of his mom and him and whatever. And he's like, that could be anybody. Like, you don't know, or that doesn't prove anything to me.
Exactly.
It only proves that you know her. It doesn't prove that you're my dad. It doesn't prove that you knew her 15 years ago or whatever,
And hearing him say, I have a really great memory. It's like, of what exactly though?
I know. Well, and that's the thing is like T-Bone's dad, I think he's being painted as like a little bit of like a playboy or whatever. Like the way he comes in, he's all, oh, I'd know you anywhere, T-Bone Jr., whatever. And then especially because he explains very vaguely that it was like a one night stand type of situation or whatever all those years ago. We the audience are led to believe like, oh yeah, this dude's like a fly by night, just drives through town on his motorcycle, sleeps with some people, and then just leaves them behind in his tailwind,
Yeah, especially when Annie gets a hold of that news, like she doesn't believe it either.
Which we'll get to, yeah. So that's late night snacks. Meanwhile, at the King Kirk house, we learn that those two just boned. Yeah. And Lucy decided to make late night brownies, which makes no sense, but whatever. Good for her.
You're like, you don't want a sandwich? I'm kidding.
Right? And Kevin comes out and he's all like, there's two things I love in this world. What does he say? He goes, making brownies and making babies.
Yeah. Something to
No. It's making babies and bringing babies home from the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh. He's such a loser, dude. What is his problem? So, okay, but we have to unpack this because if they just had baby making sex, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean that last episode when she thought she was pregnant, she isn't? Or does it mean that she still might be, but she doesn't know yet? For sure.
I don't know. I think she thinks that she might be pregnant.
Okay, but she doesn't know for sure, so she's not saying like I might be or whatever.
Yeah, because we don't know either.
Right? No,
like
we don't.
She is being a little coy
with him in that moment. Yeah,
she has that look in her eye where it's like I may know something that you don't.
It's a little bit like, because he's like, I'm pretty sure we just made a baby, and she's like, oh yeah, you are, it's when it's one of those types of things of like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, well, we already made it a while back,
right? Or did they, or whatever, right? Like, I don't know. So that's late night snacks. Oh no, there's still so much more late night snacks. Margaret is still totally into Mac. Yeah. But she's not going to let him off the hook easy. Like, because now they're in this dynamic where, because he got a little taste of her or whatever, like he's all into her. Yeah. And she's not saying no, but she's also like, being a little bit hard to get with him of like, because it's like late night, right? He got up to get some water or whatever, and she got up too, and so now they're in the living room, and it's this whole thing, or whatever. Yeah. It's like it's cute in the sense of like it's fun to see, people be in that dynamic. Yeah, I don't know that I love Margaret and Mac together, frankly, but same. Here we are. So then. Meanwhile, up in wherever the fuck Sandy lives.
Oh, yeah.
Which we still don't quite know the geography of how far she is from the snow globe, but anyway.
Northern California, that's all I need
to really. Dr. Boy's there. Yeah. In the middle of the night.
Jonathan.
Is that his name? I should start calling him Jonathan. Okay. So Jonathan's there, meaning what, he's sleeping over now? Is that a thing that's happening? Okay.
Yeah, well...
And he just gave Aaron a bath, I guess, whatever. And they're being cutesy with each other. And, well...
You're an amazing woman, you know that?
I'm so tired. You say nice things to me, I might start crying.
I don't see how you cannot be tired. I mean, you're going to school, working at the teen home, driving down to observe Lucy and Reverend Camden, taking care of Aaron, marrying me.
I stayed up way too late last night studying for that stupid exam that turned out to be nothing. And then I got stuck in traffic and I was almost late picking him up today from daycare. And I didn't know you were coming, so my house is a mess. I'm sorry. Wait, what did you say?
About?
You said taking care of Aaron and...
Oh, and marrying me?
Wait, what do you mean by that?
I mean, Sandy, would you do me the honor?
Yes.
Thanks.
When someone proposes, I want this exact music playing in the background. Thanks. Thanks.
Da, 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 da.
Thanks. Now let's make out some more.
Oh my God, it's so gross.
Yeah.
But I do love how happy Sandy is. Like, and then, because then the next morning at breakfast, right now we're in breakfast mode. The next morning, first of all, I love the idea that she just got out of bed, but she's got a full face of makeup on and a bump it in her hair. Did you catch that?
Seriously.
She's got a full on bump it in her hair, okay? But she just woke up, you know?
I woke up like this.
And he's there making breakfast for her, whatever. And she's like, oh my God, did that really just happen? Like, is it happening? And he's like, yeah, it is. But then he drops it on her that, ooh, sorry, spoiler alert, I'm going to be working in Appalachia for a month.
Yeah.
But then when I get back, we can like start planning the wedding, whatever, you know. And she's like, can I tell people? And he's like, yeah, you can tell people, you know, whatever. It's really happening. I want this and she wants this and good for them. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
So
and apparently they don't bone.
That's right. Because she even says, she's like, you know, you're cool, like waiting and whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's cool. Like, I love you, I guess. I don't know. But that's weirder then, right? Like he's staying over and they're not having sex. Like, why then is he staying over? It feels like you're just asking for trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, yeah, pretty much.
Like, I don't want to say that that's not unreasonable. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of couples that have gone through this or are going through this now or whatever, where they're perfectly fine, like, staying over and not taking that step and, you know, whatever. But it's like, it just seems a little hard to believe that you're gonna share a bed, or like, what is he sleeping on the couch? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? The whole thing just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if he's sleeping in your bed with you, like, how are you not at least like canoodling? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Right?
Right? I don't know. Anyway,
but
okay, so go ahead.
We do know that in the late night snack stuff, T-Bone's dad, who is also Theodore. Oh my God.
T-Bone is T-Bone Jr.
Yeah.
Because what is it? Theodore Bonaducci?
Bonaducci. Theodore Allen Bonaducci.
At least we now know where bone comes from. T-Bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it all makes sense. We also see him like finally talking to Ruthie, and Ruthie's like, oh, hey, you know, like, and then she leaves. But he's like, you got your name tattooed on her butt and you broke up with her? And like, you hear her going, hey, it's her back.
Well, Eric's more like, we like to say that it's her back.
Yeah. Dude.
So meanwhile, so that's happening at Sandy's breakfast. Meanwhile, Kevin and Lucy at breakfast are rehashing their conversation of like, shall we stay? Shall we go? What are we going to do? Whatever. And now it's like Lucy wants to go and Kevin doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
And here's my thing is Lucy wanting to stay. Lucy wanting to go.
Yeah.
Seems to me like that means she's not pregnant. And I'd be willing to bet on it that at least at this moment in time,
She's not
she's
pregnant.
not pregnant, because at the end of the day, I don't think she feels comfortable going to Crossroads if she's pregnant and gonna have another kid.
But there's a doctor on call that comes in once a week.
That's true. But yeah, it just seems a little bit like convenient.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know though, because I also think like at the end of the show, she's definitely going to be pregnant again, right? Like,
Yeah.
like
I can see them.
Spoiler alert, you know.
Yeah, I can see them giving me that news.
Yeah,
Giving, like the audience,
so-
the news. Me personally.
T, listen, I know you care. Yeah, and so maybe then, if that's the case, then maybe she's finally just comfortable enough with her own ability to be a mom on her own that
Yeah.
she's like, fuck it, let's go and raise a family there, whatever, without the support system, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? Also, quick side note, Mac and Margaret totally had sex that night, right?
I mean,
Like, that was like, that happened.
I don't know. The reason why I can't imagine them having sex is because Mac is such a child.
Well, so is Margaret in so many ways.
Yeah, she is. She's naive. Like, not naive. Like, she's such a fucking romantic. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's not naive. Like, she's just
which
she's
is all
romantic.
the more reason why I feel like that would have happened, because he's obviously into her.
Yeah.
And she's trying to play hard to get and coy, but then totally like is intimating to him that she's
Yeah.
into him. So I could totally see a move being made and either or both parties like succumbing to it, you know,
Yeah.
and just being like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, yeah, let's do
Especially
it.
because, see, and so the show does this thing, right, where when they're painting a couple to be like on the forever track,
Yeah.
they won't have sex. And then when it's just like a fly by night type of a thing,
Yeah.
they probably will. Like I think we're supposed to believe that Ruthie and Martin could be having sex right now because they're going on late night dates and, you know, they're hanging out like in the middle of the night outside or whatever. And then I think we're also supposed to believe that Jane and Martin could be having sex right now.
Yeah,
Because
that's
while
true.
he's been hanging out with Ruthie, when he leaves her at night, he goes and hangs out with Jane, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I didn't even think Martin was capable of that.
Oh, Martin's all about having sex. Now that he's had it once and had a kid out of it, I feel like he thinks like, well, the worst has happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Might as well.
Like, I might as well just start doing that because, like, who cares? You know?
Oh man.
I don't know. Although, is the baby the worst that could happen from sex? I suppose so.
I would think so.
It's certainly the most permanent of, no, I guess HIV is also pretty
Look, I mean,
permanent.
look, they all suck when you don't want them. How about that?
Oh, the consequences?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, what are you talking about?
They all suck. They all suck when you don't want to deal with it.
This is true. That's a very good
They
way
all
to
suck.
put it.
It's just a different spectrum of how bad it sucks.
Yeah. That's a very good way to put it. So to the point you were making earlier, right? The next morning after the T-Bone's dad thing, Annie is now privy to the news because they let T-Bone's dad stay in the garage apartment or whatever overnight.
Yeah.
And Annie's like, who is this strange man who's living in my garage apartment
Seriously,
right now? And
she
Eric's
cooks a
like,
fucking feast.
well, Eric's like, oh yeah, it's T-Bone's dad. Yeah, we don't know if he is or isn't. And Annie goes full mama bear, dude,
Yeah.
and like doesn't want to accept that.
The man in our garage apartment, you really think is T-Bone's father? But how would you know? How would he know?
He knows.
No, T-Bone is not going anywhere. Not with some guy who left him stranded with his crazy mother for 17 years.
He didn't know T-Bone existed.
And now he does? You know what? You don't know anything. I am not going to have another child move away from us, even if he does have other parents.
You know nothing, Eric Camden.
Seriously.
I like that she's just like fully like, I am not letting another kid go just because some guy came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, and I was like, wait,
You know?
which guy? And then I remember, Monsieur Roby. It happened to him. His deadbeat dad showed up, but he left to go be with his mom.
At the end,
Yeah, supposedly.
because his dad was a deadbeat in the end. But I think she just means in general, right? Because they've taken
No.
so many people in
Yeah, dude.
that in the end leave them, I guess, and she feels like he's theirs now. But the thing that feels like we're overlooking it is he's emancipated.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go with anyone.
He doesn't have to live with any of you.
That's right. Like, so he has agency here. Like, just because T-Bone's dad showed up in the middle of the night and claims to be his dad and wants to have a relationship with him doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't get to call all the shots here. You know what I mean?
And, and T-Bone reminds him of that too.
Well, right, because T-Bone's dad shows up at the
Movie theater.
ticket booth, right, later that day or whatever, and it's like he's ready to get out of Dodge because Annie preps this whole lunch for him so that she can like meet him and like suss out his situation and stuff. But he never he's like gone or whatever. Like he left a note or something. So he goes to meet up with T-Bone at the promenade and tells T-Bone like, listen, I am your dad, whether you believe it or not, or want to believe it or whatever. But if you're so inclined, I took my half of the paternity test at this hospital down the road. So like, feel free to complete that test whenever you want to, kind of a thing. But also too, if you're willing, like I'm planning on hitting the road on a road trip. I'd love for you to come with me. We can get to know each other or whatever. We also learn that while he was painted as like a playboy type earlier that night, in fact, the story is not that big a deal. Yeah. He's a dentist and he was like getting married and his friends took him on this wild bachelor night or whatever. And that it happened and it was a one-time fluke moment for him, and he had no fucking clue about the baby or any of that shit. And so here we are. And when he ran into T-Bone's mom in Vegas that a couple nights ago or whatever, it was like she just sprung it on him then too, like freaked out on him. You're the father of my kid, and then like sprung it on him. And so now he's trying to make good and do the right thing. He's not a bad guy. He's just a victim of his circumstances.
Basically. He had no idea.
He had no clue. And he's not a playboy. He's just a dude, He got divorced right from his wife, we learned.
Not even he was engaged. The chick broke up with him because he's boring.
Oh, right. Right.
Yeah.
So he sold everything. He bought a bike and now he's traveling across the country. Like the fact that he has a motorcycle isn't even like a statement on his character or his personality.
Not at all.
It's just,
yeah. Especially the way Annie was trying to make it out to be. Oh, what man do you know with this name and has a motorcycle? No, this doesn't work. She doesn't believe anything that anybody. She's like, no.
She doesn't want to believe that this could be happening.
A dentist that rides a motorcycle? Do you know anybody?
So, but in the end though, T-Bone sort of is just like, listen, I'm not going anywhere with you. Like and he doesn't force it either. He's just like, okay, cool. But just so you know, that test is waiting for you if you want to ever complete it. Like, good to meet you kind of a thing, whatever. And I mean, it's a little open-ended. Like, he could, in the end, in 2 episodes, decide he's just going to pack up and go on the road with his dad, I suppose. I don't know. But as of right now, it's a little open-ended.
Yeah, definitely.
So, meanwhile, now T-Bone's in a place where he's just a really sad, sacky guy because he's lost Ruthie.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel comfortable being at the Camden house anymore.
Yeah.
His dad's causing him all this grief, in his life. So he just shows up at the apartment, at the replacement's apartment. In the middle of the day because he knows where the key is or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like makes himself at home, like he's trying to like be there kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And Jane comes in and she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, I can't go home because it sucks there right now.
Yeah.
And Jane helps him or tries to help him feel better. Like, listen, she likes you. This is just not really a thing. Who cares? And he's like, well, I called Martin and Martin was pretty clear that he's into her. So clearly he's not going anywhere. And that's news to Jane. Because then Jane's like, wait, what? Like, I'm going out with Martin. What do you mean he's into her?
Yeah.
So now she's like, oh, well, I got to go have a talk with Ruthie, which good on her because hoes before bros all the time. Like, she's like, I got to go clear the air with Ruthie because clearly he's lying to both of us.
Yeah.
And this isn't cool. So the dinner moment is, oh no, I'm sorry. It's not the dinner moment. Jane talks to Ruthie and tells her this, the truth about this.
Yeah, because I think Jane shows up at the house, at the Camden house, and she talks to Annie first.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That you nailed it.
Yeah.
She comes home, or she comes to the house and wants to talk to Annie because Eric doesn't do good advice. No offense. Or whatever.
She's like, I want to keep one, not end one.
Yeah. And so and then Ruthie comes home and Annie's like, why don't you two talk?
Yeah.
And so Jane comes clean to Ruthie. And then poor Ruthie now is in a position where she feels like a fool because here she is. She's gone out with Martin a couple of times. They've definitely been making out. And like, he's obviously told her he's into her,
I find this all shocking.
You do? I feel like this is classic season 11 Martin MO. He's a piece of shit.
Well, I'm not surprised with Martin. I just really didn't think that we were going to find out such news about Ruthie and Martin making out. And like, I don't like it apparently, and I don't care.
That's what you find surprising, that you don't, or that you're not into it like you thought it'd be. Yeah, same kind of. Like, I thought when she first dropped the bomb that she's going to go out with him, I was like, finally, we're going to see some action. But I think, here's why I don't think we like it as much, is because Martin's not in this episode. You hear about him, and he talks to Sandy later, which we'll get to.
Yeah, they talk about him, not with him.
And he's not in it. And so because we're not watching the dynamic between him and Ruthie unfold in front of us, it's easier to be icked out by it. Yeah. Because we're also hearing the side of the story of Jane telling Ruthie, like, after he drops you off, he comes and picks me up and we hang out all night. And like, that's just so gross and so icky for Ruthie and for Jane. But Jane still wants to be with Martin.
She's still holding out on Martin.
She's hoping that Ruthie will nix herself from the situation, which seems like is the case, because when Ruthie finds out the truth, right, she's having that moment of like, well, now I'm fucked because I let T-Bone go, and in favor of this guy that I've had a crush on forever, and he's two-timing me, so now I'm alone, and like, there's no light at the end of the tunnel because T-Bone's going to go do his dad thing and Martin's going to go be with Jane, and I'm screwed out of a relationship yet again,
Oh, honey, it's okay. You're only 17.
I know,
16.
but I can understand her frustration. It's not fair. Like, she got, like, her dad fucked it up. Like, truly. Her dad fucked the whole thing up because he planted the seed in T-Bone's head to break up with her. T-Bone broke up with her. She made a choice to, like, be cool with it, to let him go, because if he doesn't come back, he was never hers to begin with. And now she has nothing.
Yep.
Like, it sucks.
You're like, Dad, really, I followed your fucking advice and it backfired.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
Call yourself a father.
So while that's all going on, Sandy comes down to Kevin and Lucy's house to like share her good news about her engagement and everything. And I think because they need her to babysit, or I don't know why she's there, but whatever. And so Lucy's not home because she's somewhere. They don't explain. Is she at the doctor's house? Question mark.
Yeah, they don't explain where she's at. Yeah, she is.
I'm just saying, eyebrow raise. So she's not there. So Sandy, like, she can't even contain herself. She's like, I'm getting married. Yeah. And Kevin's like, that's amazing. Stay for dinner. Whatever. So they stay for dinner. Lucy comes home. They're having dinner. And we learn, or Sandy realizes that she fucked up because she told her dad about her engagement. And Kevin's like, don't you think that your dad will tell Martin's dad and he'll tell Martin that maybe you're getting engaged? And Sandy's like, fuck. So at dinner, when they should all be having dinner, Sandy's in the back talking to Martin. Yeah. And again, we only hear her side of the conversation, but it's a lot of like, why are you upset? Well, you have no right to be upset. You're dating Jane. I get to be happy. Like that kind of stuff, of like, well, sorry you didn't know sooner. It's my news to share. My dad shouldn't have told your dad, stuff like that.
You
where
hear
they're
Rachel
being petty.
Rachel, you're hearing Sandy basically saying, "Grow up, Martin." It's all the shit that we've been wanting to say. She finally said it.
And meanwhile, Kevin and Lucy are like, okay, do we eat without her? Like, what's happening?
Dude.
Meanwhile, all they want to do is just have sex again.
Yeah, seriously. It's like she gets a bread roll and goes straight to the bedroom, man.
She goes, I'm going to go check on Savannah. And that's like code, right?
Yeah. And he's like, right now? And she's like,
So then he just follows her into the bedroom.
Yeah.
And then when they come back out, Sandy's left a note and just left for the day because she gets it.
Yeah. They just went and they boned.
So here's the fucking kicker moment. The fucking bomb drop, okay, is after everything is said and done, the episode ends with Sandy coming home to her NorCal apartment with Aaron.
Yep.
And she's holding Aaron and she's like doing that thing where she's like talking out loud but to the baby, you know, or thinking out loud but to the baby. And she's like, Aaron, what did I do? Why did I do that? What did Sandy do? Did she fuck Martin again?
God, I hope not.
I bet that's what it was.
Ew.
Because what else could it be? What, did she kill him? Like,
could you imagine they're married?
Oh, shit. T.
Imagine they're married.
Bomb. That would be the most amazing twist ever. Holy shit. Fuck, maybe.
Really?
But see, no, I think it has to be sex because they made such a big deal about talking about how they're not having sex in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because she's not ready and da-da-da-da. That I think the show's idea of like, oh no, would be, and then she went and had sex with her baby daddy. Which only complicates the waters, not only for herself and Jonathan, but for Jane and Ruthie as well. Like, what?
That's a lot of people to throw in one problem.
Fucking A. It's all going to come to a head in the finale. You know that.
Yeah, only 2 episodes left, dude.
Which, do we know if they're two-parter? If it's like a part 1, part 2 scenario?
Oh, actually, I have no idea. I haven't even looked into it.
I think it's similar to how season 10 was, where it's not technically a part 1, part 2, but they're like 2 halves of the same coin, you know, or 2 sides of the same coin. Yeah. This is the fucking craziest shit. This is soap opera level.
Yeah, it is.
Of like story weaving now that they've got us into. Like, especially with the format of this episode, like the overlapping, like, you know, timeline of the day or whatever. It's like, so there's so many moving pieces. What's going to happen to Lucy and Kevin? Are they going to go? Are they going to stay? Is she pregnant? Is she not pregnant? What's happening with Sandy and Jonathan? Did she fuck Martin? Did she not fuck Martin? Did she kill Martin? Did she not kill Martin?
Yeah.
What's happening with Martin and Ruthie, Martin and Jane? What's Mac and Margaret going to do? What's happening with T-Bone? Where's he going to live? Is he going to go with his dad? Like, there's so many like loose threads that need to be tied up. Like, holy cow, are we in a pickle now?
I wonder if they're going to wrap it up. Like, they're really going to, I don't know.
Listen,
I mean, they have to, right?
Point, if they do another non-ending like they did with season 10, I'm going to be really mad.
Oh, like how when Sandy came in saying, hey, Simon, we need to fucking talk.
I can't tolerate that. This is your final chance to end this fucking show.
Yeah.
Like, end it. Let me know where everybody ends up and how everybody ends up so that there's no question marks. There's no will they, won't they bullshit.
You're like, I'm tired of it.
I just want to know the final.
The finale. You fucks.
Yeah, this episode is interesting to say the least.
When episodes like this happen, I can't really enjoy them.
Is that because it's too complicated or
no? I just know that. Oh, okay. Wait, I should pay attention. Like, what was it? Every little detail matters in this one. And they really want your focus on every scene, every
it requires
person.
Active watching and listening.
Yeah, and sometimes you're like,
You know what? You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because so when I was watching the episode, or when I watch any episode, I'm taking notes as I'm watching. And so a lot of the times my head is down, like not watching the screen as I'm taking the notes, but I'm like listening along or whatever. So the episode opens with the title card saying late night snacks.
Yeah.
And so, okay, fine. And then I guess I was taking notes it happened twice. Like I kept missing the title card, like for breakfast and for lunch, and to the point where I was like, oh, they didn't do a title card after that. I guess we just are supposed to guess that it's breakfast, and then I rewound it, and there it was. But I just missed it in that split second that I was taking notes. You know,
same happened to me for breakfast and for lunch.
Yeah, and then by dinner I knew to look for it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
you're like, and then you're like, oh, late night snacks again.
We should talk about late night snacks again, not only because of the Sandy moment, but also Jane comes home from having told Ruthie everything.
Yeah.
And T-Bone's there. He's bought a pizza.
Yeah. He's so sweet.
The pizza was like a running gag too in this episode because Mac goes to get leftover pizza in the breakfast time or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jane's like, that's my pizza. And he's like, I brought this pizza home from work last night. And she's like, did you buy it using the group budget food?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. She's like, well, you had some last night. Margaret had some last night. And now it's my turn to have the rest. Right?
Yeah.
But then T-Bone ate her pizza when he sneaked in at that first. So as an apology and also as like a, can I stay here tonight move, he bought a pizza. For them or for her or whatever. And so she comes home and she sees the pizza and she sees how sad and melancholy he is because he's essentially can't go back to the Camden house. He said goodbye to his dad, like fuck off kind of a thing. He has nowhere to go and no one to be with. So she sits down and she like kisses him on the cheek and they like dig into pizza.
Yeah. I have to admit that pizza kind of looked good though.
The pizza looked really good. I totally saw the kiss coming. And a part of me wonders if it's a bit of a fuck you to Ruthie, that she's maybe initiating something with T-Bone in that moment.
I hope not, because T-Bone is a baby compared to you.
Okay, that also, but also if we recall, when we first met these two, they had some weird tension between them.
Yeah.
Like, they knew each other, right?
Exactly.
So I wonder, like, what the backstory there is.
You think that's who he had sex with for the first time?
Ooh, that's a juicy one.
Yeah, but the show won't go there.
Won't they, though? I mean, at this point, anything goes. If Sandy fucked Martin again, anything goes, okay?
Fuck. Yeah, I'm not for that.
I hope not. Yeah, because I don't want to see T-Bone fall into this thing with Jane just because they're, like, mad at Ruthie and Martin. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be right, and that wouldn't be fair to either party, any four of them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if this is a better thing for him, if Ruthie deserves to be with Martin because they're both idiots, and Jane and T-Bone could have something magical because maybe there's a history there and maybe they're who should have been together all along. That's kind of cool. Although it would suck though, because as the audience member, like, give me some build up. Like, is this the moment I'm supposed to buy into T-Bone and Jane?
Yeah,
no.
That's true.
Yeah,
it is weird. It's a little off.
Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. So please don't do that
I
to
hope
me.
not. Yeah. But then, so what do we want? Do we have any predictions for the next two episodes?
No.
I can't imagine where it's going from here.
Like you said, you don't care about the replacements. You just don't.
I don't care about anybody. I don't even care about Ruthie, honestly. Like, I don't know who I care about anymore.
Savannah.
Yeah, that's true. I do care about Savannah. Mind you, if I remember correctly from my sleuthing on IMDb, we're never seeing Xano again.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So doesn't that feel like that's over? You know?
Yeah.
Or unless they're just going to be like, well, he's in Appalachia. I suppose they could do that.
Oh, that's super quick.
I don't know, man. Might have some predictions or some ideas about where it's going to go, but at the same time, I don't feel like I need to share them because I also think like, well, whatever's going to be is going to be.
Exactly.
Like, who cares?
Let it be.
Let it be. Let it be. Let seventh heaven be.
Let it be.
It's 20 years old at this point.
Oh, just let it be.
What a stupid show. It really is. I hate saying that about the show that we've devoted 2.5 years of our lives to.
I'm going to gain it all back.
I swear to God, I feel like when we're done doing this show, I'm just going to like sleep. I'm going to sleep as many hours as I've lost doing this show.
Shit. Oh Oh my God.
Like I'm gonna Rip Van Winkle that shit. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh.
Let me know how that works out.
I will.
Yeah.
I will when I finally wake up.
Okay, that's true.
You won't hear from me for a while.
Yeah. Where's Jackie? I guess she tried it, huh?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's gonna do it for this one. What do you rate it?
Two thumbs down. 2 thumbs down. Yeah.
I thought for a second it might go up. I was like, oh damn.
No, 2 thumbs down.
Okay. Maybe this is me just being a little loopy and being a little bit generous, but I think I want to give this 2 thumbs up. One, because I love a good gimmick. I love a good concept, okay? And I like I like this whole late night snacks, breakfast, dinner, lunch thing. That, and secondly, I think it is so dense. It is so setup heavy with all the dominoes that need to be knocked down that like I'm kind of here for it. Like I'm kind of excited to see them knock down the dominoes,
Okay, yeah.
And this episode made me get there. Like it made me feel like, okay, well, where are we going next? Like what's going to happen?
Yeah.
How are we going to wrap this turd up?
Seriously, how are they going to wrap this turd up?
So yeah. So for those reasons, I think I got to go 2 thumbs up, man. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird one.
Okay. All right, fine. I'll let you have this weird one.
Thank you, T.
God.
You know what, David? You get murdered first for once. Sorry, guys. I've just been rewatching Schitt's Creek, so that's where my head's at.
I like that line.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us on this one.
Yeah.
Just 2 more episodes left, my babies.
Cutoff date, May 7th, all right?
May 7th. Send us your emails, thoughts, questions, insights, things you want to know about us, things you want us to know about you or about the show or whatever. Also, don't forget, patreon.com/forheavensakepod. There's a tier on there that gives you access to 2 bonus episodes a month of live commentary on movies that T has seen that I have not. And listen, if you can't subscribe at that tier, we get it. That's totally fine. We also have a Keep the Lights On tier, which is essentially just a little fund that helps us keep this show on the air long after we're done recording it.
Yeah.
And it's, listen, any level of support we appreciate. We love you guys. And the end is near, and we are here for it, I suppose.
Yeah.
So until next time, bye.
Bye.